you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants, last season, boy, I'll tell you, that a nice foursome they had in the safety. I mean, Julian Love, I mean, you know, he was cornerback, safety, kind of like, as Joe Judge called him, Mr. Duct Tape, because he could just fix any problem, apparently. That's what, you know, duct tape is for, but you can kind of put him anywhere you want. You know, he could be a cornerback, safety. I mean, so he had many roles. But I mean, you know, if you look at what we had, I mean, he had Jabrill Peppers, right? Obviously, until he got hurt, so he didn't play a heck of a lot for us last year. But you know, he was very good at the box. If you blitzed the quarterback, he usually got pressure on the quarterback. Maybe didn't always get a hit or a sack, or whatever, but he was good at getting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, they all had their own little roles. I mean, they had their, you know, strengths and their weaknesses. I mean, Jabrill Peppers was not, was a little bit of a liability in coverage, shall we say. I mean, that's why maybe a lot of times they had him in the box. You know, Logan Ryan, he was a team leader, right? I mean, he's a great person to have in the locker room, in the huddle and all that. Had a little, you know, had some problems, you know, a little in coverage last year, okay, but he was, you know, good in tackling. He missed 2 games, because of COVID, but if he played all 17 games at the rate he was making tackles, okay, if he played all 17 like Tay Crowder did, Logan Ryan probably would have been number 1 on the team in tackles. All right, so you know he was around the ball, he made some tackles, okay, but you know he got hurt a little bit in coverage, right? Xavier McKinney, all right, so good, nice to see him healthy the whole year. You know, second year, you know, he seemed to be getting better. You know, seemed to certainly get better to take the next step last year. You know, becoming more and more of a team leader. You know, obviously he's going to possibly have to be if he's going to wind up staying around, because it looks like we're trying to get rid of some guys, you know. So, but anyway, he led the team in interceptions with 5. So I mean, as far as him being like a, you know, maybe a free safety back there, whatever, you know, he seems to be, you know, filling the role very, very well, and he's young. He's just his 3rd season, so that's good. You know, but you look at, thankfully, you know, the salary cap's going up, because you know he's a 2nd rounder, so ain't no 5th round option on him. So you know, next year the Giants going to want to start talking about, you know, extend. Hopefully, hope to God, Shane starts talking about extending them, because I am so freaking sick and tired of just drafting guys and just letting them play out there 3, 4 years, whatever, and just letting them go. I mean, I hope, yeah, we hope we wind up signing Xavier McKinney. Now, which brings me to my next point with Julian Love. Mr. Duct Tape, that guy's Joe Judge used to call him. So he can play many different positions. All right, young. This is his last season, so once again, he's not a Wink Martindale guy. He's not a Dable guy. He's not a Shane guy. Are we going to re-sign him? I mean, he wouldn't get a whole heck of a lot on the open market. You know what I mean? He's not a shutdown corner. He's not an elite safety. He does a lot of things well. You know, he's good depth. And I mean, if you got a hole anywhere, you're not saying, you know, if you got to put him at a cornerback, he's not going to be the greatest cornerback in the league or anything like that. But you know, he can play multiple positions. So I mean, certainly somebody worth holding on to. And same thing there. I hope we wind up holding on to him. But I remember like last year, just looking at the secondary that we had last year. I mean, I was just, you know, I was thinking, wow, man, we got a nice. I mean, we got, you know, Adoree Jackson, So we had cornerback number 2, James Bradbury, the year in 2020, had a nice season. I'm like, man, we got James Bradbury, now we got Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson, we're not even asking him to be cornerback 1, just be cornerback 2. Darnay Holmes, had a nice rookie season, covering in the slot. I mean, he didn't have an exceptional season last year, but then we drafted Rodarius Williams and Aaron Robinson. Both of them missed a bunch of time last year. Hopefully they can stay healthy this year, and we can maybe see, what they're all about. But yes, I mean, I was just saying between, the 3 safeties. I mean, with the Jabrill Peppers, Xavier McKinney, Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson, and James Bradbury. Man, we got some nice guys in the secondary, and then we got some depth. As I said, we drafted a couple young guys too to add to the secondary. So I'm like, man, we got pretty good. But I mean, now, and we let Logan Ryan go. We didn't re-sign Jabrill Peppers. We're trying to get rid of James Bradbury. We're down to 2 safeties, and if you want to call, I guess, Julian Love a safety, right? So I mean, we got Xavier McKinney, and we got Xavier McKinney and Julian Love. 2 safeties. We're down to 2 safeties. That's all we have. All right. So needless to say, the Giants will probably be drafting a safety in the NFL draft coming up. Right. Now, pretty much the top 6 safeties I'm gonna kind of go over. I mean, a lot of what I'm listening to, like, almost every day I'm listening to somebody, a podcast, or watching a YouTube video talking about something about the draft or something, or I'm reading an article or something. With the safeties, it's not like edge rusher. With edge rusher, you got the top, 4, 5, 6, or whatever, and then after that, you got some nice ones, Micah Paye, some guys sprinkled in, throughout the next couple rounds. You get some good edge rushers. I'm not saying, all pro. I'm not, saying 15 sack guys, but some nice edge rushers. Same thing with wide receivers. You got your top, I was, hearing maybe 5 wide receivers, maybe 6, maybe might go in the first round. So I'm saying, so you got your top guys, but then after that, you got a bunch of, some quality sprinkled out throughout the, the draft. So there are some positions here, definitely, that good quality throughout the draft. Safeties, I mean, I said, is that you got like the 6 I'm going to kind of go over. All right. Then after that, I mean, the ones after the 6, I mean, are they all going to be horrible? No, of course not. I mean, some situationally, you got to maybe put them in there and play them to their strengths. You can't put somebody in there, who's a free safety and expect them to play in the box, or vice versa, or, But I mean, play them to their strengths. Sure. I mean, there's be some, I'm sure, some quality safeties, but I'm just talking about kind of like, it seems like there's like the cream of the crop, and then there's like a little bit of a fall off. I mean, so if the Giants are, looking to bolster their safety position, right, they might want to try to maybe get, one of the top 3, or maybe one of these top 6, especially because with Wink's defense, because you get somebody, they put the guys in the box, and they dictate kind of how the offensive linemen are going to block. And then they predicate, okay, we know the offensive line is going to go this way, so what we're going to do as they shift this way to block what they think, we're going to send pressure coming over here. Or, so he's going to dictate to them how they're going to block, and then he knows how they're going to move. Then he sends pressure off that, Now that when you start sending pressure, the guys in the secondary kind of got their hands full. A lot of one-on-one. And that was one of the things that happened to the Ravens last year with Wink Martindale's defense, is that he had so many injuries. I mean, some of his top cornerbacks were injured, but he just kept, he did defense his way, and he didn't maybe have the horses in the back to get the coverage, and they wound up getting burned a lot, and so that's one of the reasons why he wound up losing his job. But I mean, that's the way he coaches, that's the way he is, and that's the way it's going to be. So I mean, that have the guys, that you have in the back covering is very, very important. So I mean, if you only got 2 safeties out there, it's very, very important. So especially, if we're going to have Xavier McKinney, Shane knows, Dable knows. They have kind of an idea of what they're going to do with Julian Love. You just don't go, throughout the season and the season's over. Oh, that's right. Julian Love, that's right. He's a contract. Oh, I forgot all about it. No, they know. They know what they're going to kind of do. And if they don't plan on re-signing the guy, now we're down to 1 safety. Right? So you got a very good Xavier McKinney. They're not going to re-sign Julian Love, which wouldn't cost them a boatload of money, right? But you got to get somebody, right? If they're going to get somebody, if you get one of these top 3, all right, that would be pretty good, all right? The second, third, the top one is a first rounder. The next 2 are borderline first rounders, second rounders. Then the next 3 are like maybe third rounders, maybe late third rounders or so, somewhere around there, right? So if the Giants want to really bolster their safety position, they need to act in the first, if they really want, first 2 rounds would be phenomenal. Now, there's just the nice thing is there's a possibility they might be able to get any one of those top 3. All right, I'll kind of go over it, all right, as we go along. Now, first one obviously is Kyle Hamilton, all right, from Notre Dame. I did not, do that awesomely at the combine. He was not very fast, but what I was also hearing was that kind of he didn't. When he took off the 40, he didn't run straight. He was kind of he had to take a step this way and back. Some guys said he ran 45 yards. Yeah, because he wasn't running. He just run straight. He would take a step over here, and then he was kind of taking a step back over here. So that kind of killed him. But it's not sometimes it's so much your 40 time. It's your game speed. And especially when you're at safety, because if your game speed, all right, is fast, and you have time to react, right? If you're running if you're one-on-one with Tyreek Hill and he's running a 4.3 and you're running a 4.7, I guess he's going to get past you. He'll catch the ball and just take off. But if you got him, maybe back, his recovery speed, game speed is very good. So he can make up for maybe being a little slow or whatever. But some people put him in the top 5, some people put him in the top 10. But there's a chance the Giants could possibly draft him at number 5 or number 7. We'll have to wait and see where he winds up going. 6'4", 220 pounds. Hamilton is a modern hybrid defender who can do whatever is asked. While he missed Notre Dame's final 5 games with a minor knee injury, he came down with 3 picks and 3 pass breakups in his first 7. They got, PFF here has him top 5 pick. Now, whether he's going to go in the top 5 or not, that remains to be seen. I've heard some good things about, some people really high on him. And there's other people that think he's very good, but, they're not taking him in the top 5. So he can go anywhere. Somewhere, he's going somewhere in the top 10. The top 3, the top 4, is the Jets going to grab him? Giants maybe take him at 5 or 7 or something like that. I don't think Carolina's going to be taking him. Will he reach all the way to number 9? Or I don't know if 9 with the Seahawks need a quarterback. But anyway, but you know what I'm saying? So you don't know. He's a little bit of a wild card. But the Giants have a chance of maybe possibly picking him up. Now, is that something they want to do at number 5 if they got a tackle on the board? Don't know. But he's the top one. All right, top one, Kyle Hamilton. Okay. Then you got the next 2. All right. The first one is let's see. Oops, I just went out of it all. Safeties. Okay. Lewis Cine. All right, from Georgia. All right. Now they got him predicted possibly late first, mid, late first, maybe early second, somewhere around there. All right, he's very good. I've seen some tape on him. He's very, very good. All right. He's a little bit smaller. Okay, he's 6'2". All right, Kyle Hamilton is 6'4". Hamilton's got some nice reach to him. Kyle Hamilton's 220. Lewis Cines about 200 pounds. All right. Cines was the biggest riser down the stretch for Georgia's defense, and he's one heck of a tackler. He is. I tell you what, he comes up, he'll hit you. I'm like, damn. I was impressed watching some film of him. For his career, he missed only 11 tackles on 159 attempts. So he's very, very good. All right, let's see. We got some stats here. He graded out at 82.4. He had 822 snaps he was in on. I mean, he played the deep safety, 534 snaps, but he played in the box 155 times. He played in the slot 118 times. So they kind of moved him around. So he's very, very flexible. As I said, he may not make it to the Giants with their early second round pick. If the Giants were to trade back, like say with New Orleans, maybe get pick number 16 or 19 or something like that, he might be in play. All right, for the Giants. I'm just saying, if they wanted a safety that bad, okay, maybe you might want to pick Cena, but maybe number 19. But it's all, we'll have to wind up wait and see. All right, but so it's Lewis Cines, second safety. The third one is Jaquan Brisker. Okay. From Penn State. He's very good as well too. Right? He's 6'1", 199. So he's a little bit shorter than Cines is. Okay, but he's very, very good for Penn State. Brisker is an incredibly sound safety who will be coveted by teams who have specific box roles. All right, so he earned an 89.5 coverage grade in a career year this past fall. All right, so he 89.5 coverage grade, which is huge. I said if you got Xavier McKinney back there, right? But if you can bring him up in the box and have him cover something, anybody, tight end, that would be huge, because especially when you're sending pressure, the guys in the back end need to be able to cover. All right, and that's what he can do. And PFF has him going possibly in the second round. So he possibly would make it to the Giants with their second round pick. If you have him, and we're talking about possibly having him in the box, right? Then you got Xavier McKinney back there, and now you got two stud safeties, right? You got Xavier McKinney in his third year. That's where I was going with the three, right? And then you got Jaquan Brisker, who's a first year. Hopefully you'll be set for a while, as long as the Giants decide to sign Xavier McKinney. So that would be two phenomenal safeties we would have. Two young safeties, and we would be good to go for safeties for a while. All right. Then you got, then like the next three. All right. These are the guys I've been hearing about. It's Kirby Joseph, okay, from Illinois. All right. Let's see. He's 6'1". All right. They got him possibly going in the third round. All right. Not quite as good as the other three, but a decent safety. As I said, the Giants got 2 third-round picks. Possibly, right? Joseph is a ball-hawking safety with ultra-long arms that can affect the catch point. Standing 6 foot tall, Joseph's wingspan reaches almost 6'8". Very impressive. And he used every bit of that to pick off 5 passes last season. All right. Joseph's inability to see the field at Illinois is concerning, okay? But he has playmaker potential and coverage. So there's some good, some bad. And I said, once you get off those top 3, you start bringing down these next 3. Each one has a little something wrong, okay? But he's still, Kirby Joseph's still a very good safety, right? Then you got, I said, and then after these 3, then you got to fall off after that. The next one is Nick Cross from Maryland, all right? Unlike pretty much everyone else blazing 4.3 at the NFL Combine, Cross ran his 4.34 at a hefty 212 pounds. The former track star can straight up fly, and his range is a single high defense will be coveted. So, I mean, I get single high safety, everybody else man to man underneath or zone underneath, whatever. But I mean, he's 6 foot tall, 212, but fast. So, I mean, you can't teach speed. If you got it, you got it. All right. They have him possibly going maybe in the 3rd or 4th round. All right. They don't have much on him as far as any kind of stats. He had 52 tackles. He only graded out of 67.7. But I mean, he's very, very good. All right, then we got the last one out of the top. These next 3. So we got the top 3, and then we got the next 3, and then you got a bunch of other guys. I got Brian Cook, all right, from Cincinnati, all right, graded out at 87.6. He had 900 snaps last year. He's 6'1", 206 pounds. All right. So let's see. They moved him around. He very flexible. They had him in the slot 196 times, in the box 370 times. They had him deep 291 times. All right. So very, very flexible. Okay. So he's somebody else to keep an eye on as well. I said then after that, then there's just a boatload of guys. There's like a fall off. I mean, Sterling Weatherford from Miami, Ohio, Marquise Bell from Florida A&M, Leonard O'Neal Jr. from Texas A&M, Tycene Anderson from Toledo, Yusuf Corker from Kentucky, J.T. Woods from Baylor, Verone McKinley III from Oregon, Percy Butler from Louisiana, Smoke Monday from Auburn, Brad Hawkins is a decent safety from Michigan. Bubba Bolden from Miami, from the U. There's a boatload of them. But I said you got those top 3. All right, those would be the. If you don't take Hamilton, but you want it with Cine or Brisker, cool. You can't complain. All right. Then I said after that, then you got Joseph, Cross, and Cook. All right. Then after that, you got a little bit of a fall off. But I mean, regardless of when the Giants pick a safety or who they pick at safety, almost one thing is that somewhere in these 9 picks in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Giants are going to take a safety. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants.